Ebusianfo masan so atena se aha Ghanatube so ensem de edoso nia ekoso ewo oman Ghana mu ene ye kase ye beka ye mfiri hanum se adofo ensem a ekoso ebi ne yenkotie.
The Bank of Ghana's gold reserves surged to 32.99 tons at the end of June 2025 from 32.16 tons in May. Here's more in this report. According to data from the Bank of Ghana, the gold reserves have risen by 8.05% since the beginning of the year to 32.99 tons. It began in 2025 at 30.53 tons and increased to 30.62 tons on January 31, 2025. It has since been rising month on month. From 8.78 tons in May 2023, the central bank reserves have been rising, contributing significantly to the stability of the cedi. The accumulation of the gold reserves has been mainly driven by the domestic gold purchase program, a policy initiative designed to strengthen foreign exchange reserves, boost investor confidence and enhance currency stability, and create a more conducive environment for foreign direct investment and economic growth. The central bank said in an earlier communique that the gold accumulation program is an essential tool in the efforts to diversify reserve assets, reduce exposure to global financial volatility, and provide the economy with more robust buffers against external shocks. Well, joining me on Zoom, Senior Finance Lecturer at the University of Cape Coast Business School, Dr. Sarah Mkawo. Happy holiday to you. Thank you so much for joining us. First of all, what are the long-term implications of Ghana's consistent gold reserve accumulation through the domestic gold purchase program?
Thank you very much, Darren. Happy holiday to you. Holiday, and you are still working. Right. We know once the gold reserve comes on board, gold is a mainstay of the Ghanaian economy. It's the backbone of our currency that we have. And so there are three effects when there is increase in the gold reserves that we have. It will enhance economic stability in the country. Once we have enough gold reserve, it will provide us with a buffer against any external shocks that we are going to have in the country. So if crude oil prices are going up, commodity prices are shrinking over time, once we have enough gold buffer, we can use that to stabilize our economy. What is going to also happen is that there will be a control, inflationary control in our country. So you have seen that the increase of 8.something% in the buffer that we have, our rate of inflation has been on the decrease over time, less than 20% as we speak now. And so once we have enough buffer, what is going to happen is that the prices of items on the market are going to be slowed. The increase will not be as we have been seeing earlier on, because we're going to control for the exchange rate and the rest that would affect our economy. And so there will not be so much reliance on foreign exchange to ensure that things that we produce in our country or we import will be affected. The other implication for this is that we would have positive credit rating from our rating agencies. So our rating agencies, Standard & Poor's and the rest, are going to rate us in a flexible way. And we have seen that reflecting in our rating over the years. And once that credit rating comes in, there will be a lot of investor confidence in our economy, and that will attract foreign direct investment into the country.
You mentioned that this could be a buffer or could potentially upset external shocks. To what extent, and how can this also help reduce reliance on foreign exchange markets for the cedi's stability?
Yeah, so what is going to happen is that once we have enough gold, there are countries that will need the gold, and then we can sell the gold and get the foreign exchange that we want. And once we get the foreign exchange, then it's going to help us reduce the reliance on the foreign exchange market, where the prices are determined by the forces of demand and supply. And you have your own gold, you have your own money, And so once you are selling, you are not using any middle person to exchange the money, and therefore it's going to serve as a buffer in terms of the shocks that we are going to have, because there is a reserve. It means that you are not using it, and once you are not using it, if there is any shock in the market, just as we have witnessed when US, Israel, and Iran had the issue, and then the fuel prices or crude prices were rising up on the market, we didn't feel the impact directly on us here, because we have enough reserve to cover up for the shortfall that may happen in the economy.
All right. This afternoon, we have been reporting that government will spend $1.4 billion next year in servicing debts owed Eurobond holders. I just want to find out, given the successful Eurobond debt service payments post-restructuring, how sustainable is Ghana's current external debt position in the face of rising global interest and our 2026 obligations?
Okay, so looking at the debt restructuring, which we have been talking about for a long time, the successful completion of that debt restructuring give Ghana a leeway to have some breathing space to spend money on things that we are supposed to use them for in the country. What has actually happened is that our debt burdens have reduced in terms of the haircut that we have actually achieved, in the sense that the interest components have gone down. And once that has happened, it has now, we are talking about debt to GDP ratio around 56% by 2026. That happened, we have improved external position. So you can now expand your economy. What is also going to happen is that it reduces the debt burden, service burden on you. So you are not going to struggle so much to pay a lot of debt. In a simple term, if you are supposed to pay a debt of 100 Ghana cedis, and now your debt has reduced to around 50 Ghana cedis or 45 Ghana cedis, it means that you can easily pay that amount of money, and that will be very good for us as a country. And so the debt structuring is a positive thing, though we may have argued against it that some individuals may have suffered. But if the economy improves and things are better, and you have your money back, but in an extended period of time and with a reduced interest rate, is better than losing all the amount of money that we have. And that is also going to boost our investor confidence and attract a lot of investment in terms of foreign direct investment into the country.
The Financial Stability Council has held its maiden meeting, chaired by the Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Johnson Isiama. How would the efforts of the Council help address the legacy issues in the financial sector, for instance, access to credit and private sector confidence in the financial sector, really?
In fact, it's very important that we have this Financial Stability Council in trying to address legacy issues in the financial sector in the country. This council is supposed to make sure that the financial sector is robust, it is able to manage the issues of fraud and other things that are happening in the financial sector. The council's effort will improve financial stability. So what are they going to do? They are going to bring some level of financial confidence in our economy. And once there is confidence and the citizens trust what you are doing, they are going to patronize your financial sector very well. And what is going to happen is that once the legacy issues are addressed in terms of debts that are not being paid, and these debts are now being paid, the financial sector will now have enough credit that they will make available to businesses and individuals that want to do business. What will also happen is that it's going to allow borrowing rate to also reduce. And once borrowing rate reduces, it is good for us. The private sector will now have a lot of confidence in our financial sector. They will not be competing with government. And we have seen that playing out in terms of the treasury bill rate, where government is now no longer crowding out the private sector in terms of borrowing. So,
Dr. Kao, it appears the government is on course with fiscal and monetary discipline. How is that going to influence the credit ratings, also attract direct investment in the medium term?
Yeah, so we usually talk about a marriage between the fiscal discipline and the monetary policy of Ghana. And we have seen that marriage trying to work, because as a country, we have learned from our past mistakes. And so trying to boost this will attract a lot of foreign direct investment. One of them is that once you have fiscal discipline, government will live within the budget they have prepared over time. And once they are living within the budget that they have, coupled with the debt structuring that we have maintained, and making sure that we honor our debt obligations, our credit rating position will change. And once credit rating position changes, what is going to happen? Investors will now know that at the end of the day, their money, their investment, the systems in the country are working, and they will be attracted to invest in our country.
Ebusuafo we de wankasa o de waso ati edweni ehu nia ekoso ewo yemai Ghana mu ene measure se ko comment section na fa comment no ebrem na mejibre akinkan ede amofefefe aha eye Ghanatube so insema ekoso ena onsa ebeka unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit notification bell no for more news updates. See ade. Come.